I'm not a vlogger. I don't really make videos. I don't like the sound of my voice, but I thought I'd try it just for what the heck, you know. This is my Nikon FG. It's right now the I have a couple others that classic cameras that I don't use. They might work, but this one's in perfect working condition. I've gotten rid of most of my film cameras. I still have this one. This one is probably one of the smallest. I think the Nikon EM was smaller, but this one's pretty small for the Nikon SLRs. I have on it a 50mm Series E f1.8 lens. The nice thing about this camera, if you could get it to focus here, or without is that it has a mechanical shutter. You can use it without a battery, although just on the M90, and I think the B, I'm not sure if the B setting works actually, it might. I know the M90, which means mechanical, will work without a battery, and then the other shutter speeds up to 1/1000th of a second, which really isn't that high by today's standards, is electronic. This camera also has aperture priority and program. I usually use it on manual or sometimes aperture priority, but it also has on this ring over here, you could plus or minus EV steps for the meter, and right here you could, by lifting up and twisting, you could change your ISO. And you know, in the old days you had a nice little slot here where you could tear off the back of the film box and slide it into that holder, and it would remind you what film you had in there. And that's pretty much it. Pretty much the basics on the Nikon FG. I have a wrist strap. It's been pretty well used. You could tell it's kind of fraying a little bit. And well, I realized that I don't have any film photographs from this year, so I went out and bought some Fujifilm 200, just some cheap stuff at Walmart. The only stuff I could really find in town. That's one of the problems of living in a small town away from large cities, is it's difficult to find these kinds of things. So I'm going to load it up here in my Nikon FG, and we'll get started. I got 4 rolls. I'm not sure we'll get through all for 4, and I don't even know if I could really do this one-handed, but we will try here. Open this up. So talented I am. May not be able to. Okay, let's just set that aside right in there. And then we will be able to get it in there. And this might be the trickiest part right here. I'll switch hands in my video. And there's some slots right here for you who haven't loaded film. The youngsters in the audience who have only shot video, which seems really weird to me. But I guess you exist. Gotta make sure not to put your finger through the shutter there. I did that once on one of my cameras, and it was not fun. So there you go. I think it's clicked in there. And so if I just release the shutter, and it's gonna catch, so it's good enough. Close it up the rest of the way. Make sure that all the tension is up so that I can know if it's advancing. You don't have to do this step. There we go. And then when I advance, it should move here. There we go. So we know the film's advancing. And we'll go to number 1. And looks like one more shot. And now we're on number 1. We're ready to go. So, there it is. See you on the street.